Hello students, let's start the topic reproduction in organism. We have already completed the topic asexual mode of reproduction. Today we will start the topic sexual reproduction. So the topic is sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction? Students, sexual reproduction is the type of the reproduction which involves formation of two types of gametes and the fusion of the two types of gametes. So, in this topic, first of all, we will discuss about what are gametes, what are their types, how they are formed, and how the fusion of the gamete takes place. Before starting the topic, let's discuss the important points of this topic. The first question here is gamete. What is gamete? So dear students, gametes are the specialized haploid cells which take part in the process of reproduction. So gametes are specialized haploid cells. What is the meaning of haploid? Haploid means n number of chromosome. Clear? So these are the cells which are formed by the reproductive parts and they take part in the process of sexual mode of reproduction. Now, we all of us knows that the gametes are of two types. It is of two types. The gametes which are produced by the male organism are known as male gamete, and the gametes which are produced by the female organism, this is the symbol of the female. So the gametes which are produced by the female organisms are known as female gamete. Now, the general term here is gamete, but in different organisms, these are termed differently. For example, the male gamete in case of animal is known as sperm, whereas in case of plants, the male gamete is known as microspore. Clear? The male gamete in case of animal is known as sperm, and hence the process of the formation of the male gamete in case of animal is also known as spermatogenesis, formation of the sperm. Whereas in case of plants, the formation of the microspore, which is the male gamete in plants, is known as microsporogenesis. It is called as microsporogenesis. In case of the female gamete in case of animals is known as egg or ovum. Hence, the process of the formation of the egg or the ovum in case of female animals is known as oogenesis. In case of the plant, the female gamete is also known as egg or ovum, or it is also known as megaspore. Hence, the process of the formation of the megaspore in case of plants is known as megasporogenesis. So, the gametes are of two types, male gamete and female gamete. Now, what happens actually in the sexual mode of reproduction? The basic features of the sexual mode of reproduction is that in case of sexual mode of reproduction, first of all, the male gamete, let's start the topic once again. In case of animals, the male produces male gamete and female produces female gamete. After we know that here the chromosome number is, and because they are haploid cells, after the formation of the gamete, the gamete transfers takes place, and after that there should be the fusion of the male gamete with the female gamete, which leads to the formation of zygote, which have 2n number of chromosome, or we can say it is diploid in nature. Now, after the formation of the zygote by the fusion of the gamete, which is known as fertilization, the next event is that this zygote will undergo mitotic division and leads to the formation of cluster of cells. Not only mitotic division, rather along with cell division, the process of the cell differentiation also takes place, and this zygote will lead to the formation of embryo. And the process of the formation of the embryo from the zygote is known as embryogenesis. How this event will take place? First of all, we know after the process of fertilization, the formation of the zygote takes place, that is diploid in nature, and after the formation of the zygote, the cell undergoes mitotic division and leads to the formation of the cluster of cells known as morula. This morula further divides and leads to the formation of the next stage, that is known as blastula. Further, this blastula leads to the formation of the gastrula, where the 3 different germ layers are formed, and from here the formation of the cell differentiates and it leads to the formation of tissue, organ, and when the process of the organogenesis takes place, the formation of the different organs takes place, and finally it will lead to the formation of the organism. So, these are the different events which takes place in sexual reproduction. Now, for our convenience, what we have done? We have divided the whole event into 3 different stages. The first stage, where the formation of the gamete and the transfer of the gamete takes place, this event is known as pre-fertilization event. And during pre-fertilization event, the formation of the gamete as well as the transfer of the gamete takes place. After the formation of the gamete, we have discussed that the process of the fusion of the gamete takes place by the process of fertilization. We know that the fusion of the gamete is known as fertilization, or it is also known as syngamy. Syngamy means the fusion of the male gamete with the female gamete. The event during which the formation of the zygote takes place, this is the second event, and that event is known as fertilization event, during which the formation of the zygote takes place. Now, from the 2 different haploid cells, fusion takes place, which leads to a single cell which is diploid in nature, that means having 2n number of chromosomes. Now from this single cell, that is zygote, the further process of cell division as well as cell differentiation takes place, and which leads to the formation of the embryo. And all these events which takes place after the formation of the zygote is known as post fertilization event. Hence, the whole event is being divided into three parts: pre-fertilization event, fertilization event, and post-fertilization event. Now, before going through the different events, let us discuss the important terms that we should know before proceeding the next topic. Before proceeding the next topic, the first question which arises in our mind is when the formation of the gamete takes place, or simply when these type of organisms they reproduces. So for answering this question, we should know that I think all of you are knowing the term lifespan. So let us discuss the different parts of the lifespan. Okay, before starting this, all of us knows that lifespan is the duration from the birth to the death of the organism, and the lifespan of any organism is being divided into three parts. These are, the first one is juvenile stage, second is reproductive stage, and the third is senescence. Now, when an organism have taken birth, after that there is a physical growth, and after some time we have seen that the organism becomes mature and is capable to reproduce. So on the basis of this, how we can divide all these parts? Juvenile stage is the period from the birth to the duration when any organism attains sexual maturity. So this stage is known as juvenile stage. Juvenile stage is generally used in case of animals, or we can say it is a general term which is generally used in animals. But in case of plants, this stage is also known as vegetative stage or vegetative phase, where only the vegetative growth of the plants takes place. So during this stage, the organism grows and makes it mature for the next event. When the organism becomes mature, they will enter into the next stage, that is known as reproductive stage. So reproductive stage is the stage which starts after attaining the sexual maturity in case of any organism, and during this stage the organism is capable to undergo the process of the sexual production. So the organisms are sexually reproductive during this stage. And after the completion of the reproductive stage, the next stage starts, which is known as senescence. In simple term, we can say the senescence, or we are also using the term aging, during which the metabolic activity of any organism is going to be decreased, and finally it will lead to the natural death of the organism. So in this term, here we are using these three terms. Now what we have discussed, that during reproductive stage only these organisms, they are capable to reproduce. Now we will discuss some of the terms that are very, very important. First important term is sexuality in organisms. Students, we know that in sexual mode of reproduction, the most important part is the formation of the two type of gametes. On the basis of this, let us discuss some important terms. In case of plants, we have seen what is their reproductive part. Their reproductive part is flower. The reproductive part is flower. And in case of flower, what happens? There are some conditions. There are some plants which possess the flower, and in the same flower both the gametes are produced. Again I am repeating, there are some flowers of some species which produces both the type of the gamete, the male gamete as well as female gamete, because they are having both carpel as well as stamen. If both the reproductive parts are present in the same plant or the flower, they are capable to produce both the type of the gametes, and hence these type of flowers are known as bisexual flowers. Why we have used the term bisexual? Both the sexual reproductive parts are present within the same flower. Whereas there are some, the best example of a bisexual flower is China rose or hibiscus. Now there are some other flowers where either one of the flower only produces the male gamete because it is having only the stamen. There is the case where the flower either contains stamen or the flower contains the carpel. Hence it is only able to produce either male gamete or it can produce only the female gamete. These type of flowers which can only produce the single type of the gamete, these type of flowers are known as unisexual flowers. Uni means single. The single flower is capable to produce either the type of the gamete, hence the term is unisexual flower. Now in terms of the plant, if the single plant, now what we have discussed, if a single plant is capable to produce both the type of the gametes, because the flowers are of bisexual type. So the single plant can produce both the type of the gametes, hence these type of plants are known as monoecious plants. Mono means single. The single type of the plant can produce both the type of gametes, hence they are known as monoecious plants or homothallic plant. Whereas in some other cases, a single plant can produce only one type of gamete. So if the case is there where a single plant can produce only a single type of the gamete, so for the production of the both the type of the gametes, How many plants are required? Here, 2 plants are required for the production of the 2 different type of gametes, and hence these type of plants are known as dioecious plants. That means for the formation of the 2 type of the gametes, there is a need of 2 plants, hence they are known as dioecious plants. Or the 2 different type of gametes are produced on 2 different plants, hence they are also known as heterophilic plants. So we have discussed the different stages of sexual mode of reproduction, the meaning of the gamete, the different stages of lifespan, and the terms, that is bisexual flower, unisexual flower, monoecious plants, as well as dioecious plants. In the next video, we will discuss some more details.